In this video, we're going to explore how we can add multiple text elements into jsPDF. So far, if we scroll down here, we have a few of these items, but you can imagine we don't only have one part of the text, and that is eventually how a whole PDF is. We have multiple text, where there might be images, there might be all kinds of items, and what we really want to do here now is start to add up another item. So what we want to do here is to understand this part here specifically, because basically this is regarding to the positioning. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add up another item here. We can just do it like this, and then what I will say here for now, I'm going to say here, this is title, alright, title 2, alright, and then of course this must be a string value. And then what I will do here is I'll just put this here, because remember this is the X and Y position. To understand this very good is if I do this right now, you will see that they are exactly on top of each other, which is not desirable, of course. Let's refresh, click on this, and you can see here now we have this problem here. We have one text here that is on top and the other one, or basically they're stacked on each other and it's not readable. So how could we play around with it? Well, this here is basically the X value, and the X value means we're going to move it all to the right side. The higher the X value, the more we move to the right. The lower the X value, until we hit 0, basically there, or we can do even -0, then we go out of the screen. Here, by default, the jsPDF has a certain margin around there. So that is already considered. So what we want to do here is basically move around here, let's say 20. We're going 20 now, or not even. If I look at this length here of this text, well, let's say here we can do here 100 pixels, save that, then go back here and refresh, and let's see how that looks like. So as you can see, as we move here, it becomes longer and longer, but it's still hard to read. So what we want to do now is, because the most logical thing is eventually just to push it down. So let's push it down a little bit first. So we have seen this one, and I guess here maybe it will be 150. That would be more acceptable. If I do this, click on it, there we are. Of course, we can position this, and I will definitely cover that later on. So what I want to do now is, more important is, how would we, if we have one paragraph here, or at least this title here, we want to have here another title or paragraph. So what I want to do here, let's push this back to 10. So we start at the same margin area, but then I want to push down, let's say 20 pixels. Save this. Refresh. Or I'm not pushing down 20 pixels, I'm pushing down 10 in comparison with this. Would it be enough? Well, it would depend, because maybe here the font size is probably here, if I'm not mistaken on this one, probably 14 pixels. So we might be still overlapping each other, or apparently not. So this is just fine. Apparently there is some space between that is acceptable. So like that, this will start to look quite nice. Then what I want to do now is, once we have this, I want to create now a new paragraph. Alright, so now this here is probably going to become slightly an issue because we have multiple paragraphs. And what I want to do here is, well, not there, but just down here, I'm going to make a paragraph. I'm going to create here a long text. So I'll say this is a long text. And then what I want to do here, copy this here, put it in there, 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 and put it in there. If I save this, and then what I want to do now is, well, let's grab that text, and I can give this an ID. Let's say this will be long text. For now, this is just simple to get an ID. And in here, we have this inner text. No, I don't want that, because what I want to do now is constant. I will say here long text, which is an ID, is a document dot get element by ID, because it's an ID, and the ID name is identical to the constant long text. Copy this, and then what I want to do, I want to put it in here. Long text, save that, go back here, refresh. Alright, so now we have this long text here. Maybe it should be in here, that would be more easier to read. But you can see here, if I open up, I already see we get an error here. Alright, what is the error? The text must be a string or array. Alright, so let's see here, this is the text, of course. So what is the issue here? Dot inner text we have to do. Let's copy that, put it in there, save that, refresh. Alright, now that works. Click on this, And here we have this long text. But you might be confused now. Why is this different in our paragraph where we have it nicely in multiple lines once it doesn't fit? But sadly enough, now it's not intelligent enough to understand that here in jsPDF. The reason why is because we're working with a canvas, and this is basically a canvas, and that would mean that it will be by default just a straight line unless we have to pre-program a code separately for this. Alright, so I will cover that in the next video. I'm going to show exactly how we can make sure that this will be between here and will make nice lines here.